Good day at magandang araw sa ating lahat. Ngayon pag-uusapan natin ang fishing effort. Ano nga ba ang fishing effort at bakit kailangan natin ito pag-aralan? Good day, magandang araw sa ating lahat. Ngayon pag-uusapan natin ang fishing effort. Ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng fishing effort at bakit natin ito dapat pag-aralan? So ano bang definition ng fishing effort? Fishing effort is a measure of the amount of fishing. Frequently, some surrogate is used relating to a given combination of inputs into the fishing activity, such as the number of hours, days spent fishing, numbers of hooks used, for example, in a long line, or kilometers of nets used. So, iba't iba po yung pag-express natin ng fishing effort. It really depends on what kind of effort you want to quantify or kung ano yung gusto nating i-explore sa ating research question. So yung fishing effort can also be defined as yung fleet capacity. So let's say yung total na tonnage or yung engine power ng isang fishing fleet at yung time na they spent fishing. Another definition, fishing effort is the amount of fishing gear of a specific type used on the fishing grounds over a given unit of time. For example, hours trolled per day, number of hooks set per day, or number of hauls of a beach seine per day. So sa definition na to, nasulat na specific type of gear used. So for example, kunyari lang po, isang separate gear ito. For example, this is a purse seine, for example. So you have 9 units of purse seine. For example, they operate 20 days a month. Yan. So yan yung effort nila ng 9 units of purse seine na to. Or for example, in a fishing ground, you have 4 units. Let's say troll ito. So ayan. Yung effort sa isang fishing ground ay may 4 na trolls na nag-ooperate. Tapos let's say nag-ooperate sila ng 4 hours a day. Yan. So that's one way of expressing fishing effort. So there are many ways of expressing fishing effort. For example, you can use distance or yung distansya na nako-cover ng isang fisher sa isang area kung mag-fish siya. Time spent fishing, number of days spent fishing. Let's say how many days yung fisher nag-fish sa isang buwan or sa isang taon. So depending on the gear pa na ginagamit. So let's say hook and line or long line. So ilang hooks ba yung nagagamit nila or sineset up nila. So if it's net, for example, how many panels or how long lahat yung kanilang net. Pwede din yun. Or for example, fuel consumption. So kung mas malayong fishing ground or mas higher yung time spent na fishing ng fisher, so kung gumagamit siya ng mechanized, motorized na boat, so pwede nating gamitin yung fuel as a measure of fishing effort. Okay, so let's look at this figure to illustrate fishing effort. So for example, ito yung fisher, kunyari na. So nagfi-fish siya dito sa may seagrass area. Ito yung coral reef area. So ito yung mga isda natin. So for example, if pupunta siya from here to here to fish for, let's say ito snapper ito na. So pupunta siya sa fishing ground to catch snapper. So let's say yung distance niya from here to the shore papunta dito sa fishing ground would be 200 meters. So yun yung distance na kino-cover niya papunta sa isang fishing ground. So for example, kumonti yung stock ng grouper dito. So the fisher needs to move from here to a much farther distance. So dito siya. So let's say, imbis na sa dati niyang distance, nag-add siya. So around 300 to 500 meters na yung distance yung new fishing ground. So you can say na nag-increase yung effort ng fisher na ito. Kasi the fisher needs to move from one area to the other na mas further para makakuha ng snapper. So fishing effort can also be expressed in terms of time. So kung nag-fishing ka, you will spend time traveling to the fishing ground, or you will also spend time kung nandyan ka sa fishing ground, time spent in performing or actually doing the task of fishing. So sa example na to, yung fisher, kailangan niyang mag-travel from here to the fishing spot for snapper. So madadagdagan yung travel time niya. So pwede rin madagdagan yung actual fishing time niya if for example, kumonti na yung snapper dito. So kailangan niya na mag-spend more time for fishing. So ayan, more effort to catch the fish. So effort can also be expressed, yung sinabi natin kanina, let's say for nets, number of panels ng nets na ginagamit. So kunwari, this is a crab gill net. Let's say for this 4-panel crab gill net, nakakuha yung fisher ng 2 crabs. Yan. So, paano niya may increase yung effort niya? So, pwede rin dadagdagan niya yung number of panels for his net. So, yan. So, madadagdagan niya yung pwede yang makatch na crabs. Fishing effort can also refer to, like sa definition kanina, yung total number of units or gear units or number of fishers na nagfi-fish sa isang fishing ground. For example, ito. So, let's say dumami yung mga nag-enter sa isang fishery, dumami sila na nagfi-fish sa isang resource. So, ayan. Overall, you can say na the fishing effort in this area has increased. So dati isa lang siya, ngayon 4 na sila. So napaka-importante ng fishing effort kasi it can give you a lot of insights when it comes to managing your resources. For example, yung fishing effort natin ay nagva-vary. For example, depending on seasonality ng target na species. For example, kung season ng isang particular fish, so you would expect some fishers na tumatarget sa fish na yun, ay tataas yung effort nila kasi gusto nilang i-catch yung fish na yun. Another thing is monitoring of impact to resources. So for example, kung nagdi-decline na yung resource natin, wala na masyadong isda. So na-notice natin yan na yung fishing effort tumataas, pero yung catch either bumababa or hindi na tumataas. So it gives an idea of the state of the resource. So baka masyado ng maraming fishers, konti na yung fish. So yung fishing effort is too much and there's not enough resource na to catch. Fishing effort also gives an idea how the resources are utilized. Yun, yung seasonality ng catch. Saan ba yung mga particular fishing grounds na pwedeng ma-exploit? Yan. Which specific areas have a high effort? Which areas have no effort or minimal effort? So it gives you an idea kung kailangan ba nating i-regulate yung fishing effort sa isang area or may mga fishing grounds pa na let's say um, kailangan pa nating i-increase yung effort. Also, makikita natin yung mga changes sa inputs, for example, or different kinds of effort. For example, some fishers, kung i-monitor natin yung fishing effort through time, some fishers would say na dati dito lang kami sa malapit nag-fish. Ngayon doon na sa malayo. So, may changes yung inputs. For example, kailangan namin ng more ice para kasi doon na kami sa malayo nag-fish. So, kailangan namin na mag-buy ng ice para ma-transport or ma-preserve yung fish kasi nasa malayong fishing ground pa kami nag-fish. So, yeah. So, you can look at different changes sa inputs or changes in how the resources are utilized. Also, fishing effort gives you an idea on there are changes in response to management and conservation efforts. For example, if may marine protected area, tapos may isang area na close for fishing, so supposedly walang fishing effort sa isang area na yan kung restricted ang fishing. So, pwede rin na ma-monitor ang fishing effort na let's say dapat nasa labas sila ng isang marine protected area. So, napaka-importante ng pag-monitor ng fishing effort kasi mabibigyan ka talaga ng idea ng state ng resource tsaka kung ano yung state ng pag-utilize ng resource. So, in summary, when you say fishing effort, yun yung paraan ng para ma-measure natin yung amount or ma-quantify natin kung ano yung amount of fishing activities sa isang area. So, napakarami ng ways, ng mga paraan para ma-quantify ang fishing effort. So, what kind of fishing effort do you want to quantify or to use will depend on your research question. And napaka-importante na ang fishing effort na ma-monitor natin ito kasi it will give us an idea of the state of our resources and it will give us an idea of what kind of management measures yung bagay para sa isang particular area.